Hello and welcome to RWJ and your Better Health program. Thank you for being here today. With me today is Alyssa Luning. I love working with Alyssa. She's a registered dietitian and nutritionist, and she's board certified specialist in obesity and weight management. But my favorite, and I'm going to say it every time, is the CHEF. She is a trained chef. So not only can she teach us to eat really well and healthy, we get to try all these great recipes that she comes up with for us. So thank you. Thank you for doing this today.
Of course. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And it's become a big part of our working together that we get to sit down and we go through recipes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So each time we did, the first one was breakfast.
Right, breakfast.
And then we did lunch. Mm-hmm. And now we're on dinner. This was a really fun one to choose.
Oh yeah, it's supper time.
Yes. And that's my favorite meal of the day. What's yours?
Probably, probably dinner, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think, it's the end of the day, finally you're home and,
Yes.
you're in your own space. But, it's sometimes lunch is like a blink of an eye.
Yes,
You're very
a blur.
busy. And you're like, did I?
Right.
So, yeah.
So tell them what we're going to be making today.
So today I'm going to have 2 recipes.
Okay.
The first one is going to be tempeh satay with
excited.
coconut cauliflower rice.
That sounds amazing.
That's the one, yeah. So, and I tried it this weekend, and the recipe comes out really, really good.
That's a perk of the job, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely good. And so, what we're gonna do is do the cauliflower rice with the coconut milk, and then tempeh. I know we did tofu on the first one.
We did.
Tofu scramble, and so I wanted to talk about another plant-based protein option, and it's called tempeh.
And that looks really different, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
Looks a lot different than the tofu.
Yes.
I do want to mention, you'll be very proud of me, I did the tofu scramble.
Yay!
And I loved it. And it was so easy. And it was just delicious.
You just crumbled?
I did. Yeah. And I used all those great ingredients that you shared. So started with and I of course did orange and red. So I suggest if you haven't tried the recipes yet, that you take some time to do that because they're pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do the tempeh with satay.
Yes.
And what's the other thing that we're doing?
The second one is a one pot puttanesca.
Wow.
1 pot puttanesca.
I asked her 3 times what we're going to cook the pasta in. I need you to know that. We're cooking it all in the same pot, which I think is so appealing to all of us, right?
It's a real breeze, and it's so delicious.
Okay,
too.
good.
And it's like if you've ever wanted to just kind of get away with having a bowl of noodles for dinner.
Yeah, who doesn't?
This is the recipe because the pasta that I'm using is red lentil pasta.
Wow. Okay.
And it goes along with the red sauce and the olives and everything really well. So definitely something that you can find at a lot of stores these days. Aldi has their own brand, ShopRite.
I am looking forward. I've never had red lentil pasta.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
If you've had chickpea pasta, it's kind of similar.
Oh, I've had that.
It's a bit softer.
Okay.
So it's definitely holds on to sauce a little bit better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And she knows that because she's a chef.
Because I like to eat pasta.
Okay, so she's going to put me to work, I think.
Yes.
Alyssa, what are we doing?
So the first thing is cauliflower rice. What do we do with this thing? One of the first things that I have in this recipe is actually a suggestion to go to the freezer aisle and get the frozen cauliflower rice.
Because it's easy.
Because it's easy, yes. And so if you do have that available, go for it. See what the price is. Because sometimes a head of cauliflower can be, this one was $2.99, but sometimes it could be like $5.
Yes, depending on the time of year, right?
Yeah, in which case you want to, whatever's the cheapest and whatever you've got the time for. So if you do have the time to throw some cauliflower rice together and you want to kind of grab one and see what the difference is in taste, it's actually really easy. So you got to first get all these little stems off, and once you've got it all ripped off, guess what tool I'm going to take out?
The knife?
No.
See, she just likes to trick me. Oh,
cheese
the
grater. Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I was
yeah.
wondering how you did it. But I totally thought you did it with a knife.
Yeah, no, it's so much easier with the cheese grater there.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I had a food processor, also, again, bam, bam, bam,
Right.
done. But sometimes you don't have the space for that equipment, or you don't want to pull it out from the
Yes.
cabinet. So we're just going to use the cheese grater, again, because this is a really small one. So I'm going to cut the end off. If you save scraps to make soup, these are, it's really, really good. It's very similar tasting to saving like broccoli stems to put into
Okay.
something like a stock or a broth.
So it adds a lot of flavor, right?
It adds a lot of flavor, yeah. So
Okay.
if you don't want to get rid of them, they have another purpose. They can they can be reused.
I like that you give us all these little tips.
It's good. I have a lot of them in my freezer. Not yet made soup.
She's going to.
I collect them. All right, so this is a really tiny one.
Okay.
First thing, I'm going to look for any little blemishes on top. Sometimes there's those little brown bits.
Right.
And that doesn't mean the cauliflower is bad. It's just kind of part of its process. I'm going to cut it in half. And with it in this half size, being
Right.
long instead of short, I'm going to take it over to the cheese grater, and then I'm going to hold it down, and you just grate away.
Okay.
So,
You're going to make me do it.
yeah, get out the gun. Get out
I
the
knew
guns.
that was coming.
Get out the guns.
There was something I did last time that I can't remember. It took me forever.
Oh, mashing the chickpeas.
Yes, that was,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't recommend that.
Well, if you use your thumb and push a little hard, every time you do it, you're going to learn something different.
You just like me to look silly doing this stuff, I think,
I'm
because I'm
gonna-
not so good in the kitchen.
Well, I'm going to go get the frozen one just to have so we can keep on going.
Thank you. Frozen, I recommend frozen. Personally, sometimes, at ShopRite, I just buy it already riced in the fresh section, right? Which you said was good too.
Oh, yeah.
You pay a little more, but I don't know about you. When I'm ready for dinner, I just kind of want to throw it together and get it going, and I'm not so good at this stuff. So Alyssa's heating up the frozen riced cauliflower.
Yeah. So whenever something is frozen, it's frozen at its peak freshness.
That's awesome.
So nutrition-wise, you're getting similar amounts of vitamin C and different
and
types
it
of
doesn't hurt
minerals.
it being frozen? That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It works, like traps it in time.
But in canned food, that's different, right?
Yes, in canned food, whatever is in that can actually gets cooked a lot because then it becomes shelf stable.
Okay.
So, if you have canned green beans or anything like that, you can anticipate some of those nutrients are not there, but they're not 100% gone. There's still some fiber and there's still a little bit of vitamins in there. So if canned is all you can do.
Well, and it's a better choice than a lot of other things we grab,
Yep,
right?
absolutely, yeah. So great job.
I know, I was too chicken to do the end.
You
I
did-
didn't want to slice my hand.
No, you did the right thing.
Okay.
I would have said to do that exact
Okay,
thing.
good,
Don't
'cause-
be a hero.
No.
Once you get
Would
to
have
the
ruined
end,
our program.
We would have had to stop right now. No dessert. Go as long as you feel comfortable, and then you have scraps that you can have as a snack while you're getting ready for your meal.
That's great.
If you have hummus nearby, you can have a little snack there.
Okay.
But yeah, this is perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we got a nice
That
cup
was
of
better
rice
than
here.
the smashing of the chickpeas.
You did a good job, though.
Thank you.
So we got some really good.
Yeah, it does look great. Now I understand how you do it, because I always
Yeah.
wondered with the knife how you would make it.
Right, like
Right.
all the little pieces.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so with our cauliflower rice, we're going to actually put it into a pot with some coconut milk.
Okay.
And that's the only recipe. That's
Coconut
the only
milk,
part.
that's
Yes, that's the
it?
only part of this recipe. So we're starting it off with something very, very simple. I'm going to
Okay,
turn on the
I'm going to
the
let
gas.
Alyssa do the stove, because she's way more familiar with it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is what happens when you're live doing a program.
You're cooking with fire.
That's right.
All right. So just dump it in there.
Dump this in.
Dump it in.
Before, do we need more than this? Should I shred more?
We'll use whatever we get from the microwaved one, and
Okay.
we'll snack. This is
Okay.
you save.
Thank you.
Yes. So the coconut milk that we're using today is light coconut milk.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this, but I
Yeah.
think it's really great information. So I went, okay, so it's light, and is that better? Is coconut milk okay? Because I know we've talked about using oils. And
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Coconut has some naturally occurring saturated fats. And those
Okay.
are the types of fats that are solid at room temperature that have been shown to increase risk for high cholesterol levels. So
Okay.
right off the bat, a lot of nutrition programs will say, no beef, no eggs, no coconut. And you go, why'd the coconut?
Coconut?
What did the coconut do?
Right.
So it's because of that content. However, with it coming from a natural source, including its fiber, including its vitamins, I really don't see it to be as much of a nutritional issue you could, if you're a little bit on the fence about it, you could either dilute a regular can of coconut milk 50-50, or you can find the light version. So Thai Kitchen is a really popular brand that they sell at most stores, and they have a light version. So comparatively, you're looking at different fat grams, it's about 10 to 3.5.
Oh, wow.
10 being the higher one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So good call there. I forget how
here
fast
it's sizzling.
how fast that one cooks, but it's perfect. It's getting a little soft so that when you mix it with the microwave one,
Right.
it'll all be the same party.
Okay, good.
So I usually rinse the top off of cans before I open them.
I do too.
Yeah, in case there's dust or something in the way. All right.
And she's a great cleaner-upper as she goes too. You can cook in my kitchen anytime.
Well, I just got this really big cutting board, and it makes a big difference.
It does.
All right, so we got this coconut milk open. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is put about half of this coconut milk in the pan with the cauliflower.
Okay.
I'm going to go get the other one.
Oh, okay. So are we only using the half can?
Nope, we're going to keep on using the rest of the can of coconut milk because no one likes a half can of something sitting in the refrigerator. The goal for this recipe is to use up the whole can.
Okay, and it'll all be used in this.
So I got my,
Yeah, this is what I
one.
get at ShopRite a
Right,
lot.
so I cooked it. What I'm gonna do is grab a strainer. I had everything out.
Except the strainer, but
Except the
that's okay,
strainer.
we get it.
Because there's some water that ends up getting,
Yes.
sucked into there. So I wanna just, if there's anything extra, just smush. See all that extra fluid? But I wanna replace the water with coconut milk.
Yeah, that's always been my challenge with the frozen is that there is a lot of water. So I'm happy to see what you're doing. You're actually draining it and pressing on it, right?
Yep.
That would really help because I try to make it more like it's a stir fry sometimes and it's kind of mushy, right?
Oh yeah, and if you even want to, after you do this part, if you want to put it out on a sheet pan and let it dry out for like 30 minutes, then you can use it and it'll crisp up really nice.
Nice. Okay, good to know.
All right, so we got our coconut milk, we got our cauliflower rice, and that's it.
That's it. That's an easy one,
So
right?
that's the easy one. We can put that one on the back burner, and we can make the rest of this tempeh recipe.
Here we go.
Perfect.
We're going to go here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now I have just a small frying pan, right?
Yes. So I got a pan, but the thing about this pan is that it's got some sides on it.
Right.
Because we're going to make a sauce for the tempeh to cook in.
So
I'm gonna
excited. That's
turn down the heat to low because we're going to take a while to get some of these ingredients together. So kind of basic. If you ever had sesame, like peanut noodles before.
Yes, love them.
Yeah. So this dish is very much kind of that flavor profile. So as far as ingredients go, we want to just put everything in the pan. There's no straight order of this.
Okay.
It's meant to be very simple. So the first ingredient is peanut butter.
Love peanut butter.
So got some just regular peanut butter here.
I'm going to grab
I got a little one for you.
Oh, thank you.
The baby.
I like the little one.
Yeah, the little one's nice.
Okay.
All right, so peanut butter is the way it starts.
And of course, this is an all natural, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
No salt added or with salt?
This one, nope, no salt. This one is peanuts, period. And that's what you want to find on your peanut butter. There's a lot of them that still have, that look all natural, but they'll have added hydrogenated oils.
Yes, sugar.
And sugar, yeah, definitely.
Sugar is not our friend.
Well, not in peanut butter. Oops. Okay, so now to the peanut butter, let's get it a little bit more saucy consistency by adding some soy sauce.
Oh no, I think I shut it off.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll come around and get it again.
I just
while
don't
you
want it
do
to
the mix.
explode on us.
Right, we don't want to explode.
Okay. You can tell I trust her. No, I'm kidding.
All right, there we go.
Perfect.
So it should be on a nice low temperature while you're mixing everything together.
And what was the second ingredient? I'm sorry.
Soy sauce.
Okay.
So I like to use Tamari soy sauce because it's technically lower in sodium
Okay.
than your regular soy sauce, than your the regular one.
The regular, it's just called soy sauce.
Shoyu. Yeah, shoyu. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's lower in sodium naturally, and it's also gluten-free. So other soy sauces are brewed with wheat in them.
Right.
And it's really, for somebody who's avoiding gluten in their diet, it's a real kicker, because this isn't bread,
Exactly. So you're not even thinking about it, and they're sneaking it in on you, right?
Yeah. So
might not be a good thing.
So it's kind of beneficial in that way that it's lower in sodium and that it's gluten-free.
I like that.
But if you just use low sodium soy sauce, that's fine too.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to add a little bit of sweetness to that with some maple syrup.
Love that.
And that one is just 100% pure maple syrup. To be honest, when I tested this recipe, I did not have 100% pure maple syrup. It was like butterscotch worth or something like that. It was still really good. But healthfully wise, if I were to go shopping to make this maple syrup here is 100% natural.
Got it.
Yeah, because it doesn't taste quite the same.
It tastes very different. I recently had a recipe that called for the real stuff.
Yeah.
And I bought it, and there's a big difference.
Yeah, it's just more mapley.
Yes.
Yeah, when you get the other stuff, it's pancake syrup.
It is, and
So
it's
it
just
smells like an IHOP.
right. Not that we don't like IHOP. Well,
Right. Yes.
It's all good.
Then I have some ground ginger.
Okay.
So I'm using it ground because it's going to get into the sauce and really kind of mix in with everything very well versus having it grated in there fresh. But if you wanted to put fresh grated in there, totally fine. Too. Yeah,
okay.
Then you'd have some like crunch in there too, so that could add some more texture. The other spice is just going to be garlic powder, and for the same reason, and also to make it easy.
Right. Like easy, and I don't know any recipe that doesn't call for garlic.
Right, exactly. We cannot go without garlic.
Right. And it's so good for you too, right?
Yeah, because anything that has that astringent smell, that strong smell, those are components that are antimicrobial.
Oh, wow.
So they're things that when you eat them, they can help to decrease the amount of, unfavorable bacteria that can gather.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The last thing is sesame oil.
Oh, sesame oil. I like that
And
too.
if you've ever used sesame oil at home?
A little bit. Oh, wow.
You give it that smell, and then you know what you're about to eat.
Absolutely. It
This
smells
is
really good.
the vital ingredient. And so I've got a teaspoon of sesame oil in there.
There's not one ingredient in here that I don't love.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
a great recipe.
And then, do you want to make it spicy today or no? I got some red pepper flakes.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit. So
Just tiny.
put a couple, how about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to taste it all, right?
Yeah. And then the last spice that I'm using is some smoked paprika.
Oh, love that too.
And the reason I'm using this is because satay, when it's typically served in a restaurant, it's served like barbecued over a skewer. So there's a smoky element to it. So the smoked paprika really works out pretty well.
So I really learned something today. The dried herbs and stuff is better in a sauce.
Yeah, I mean when you're
nice
just
to know
cooking,
that.
when you're just cooking at home, you know,
Yeah.
want to throw something together, there's no problem with using those powders. There are a lot of pastes that are available now too. You can buy
Yes.
garlic paste, ginger paste, same kind of ratios. I would start with the same amount that I'd use for dry, taste it, and then see if I need a little bit more.
Got it.
All right,
Okay.
so now we have the challenge.
Okay.
We have the rest of the can
I'm
of the
leaving
coconut.
that to you.
All right, so we have almost like
A paste,
like
right?
a paste, like a curry paste. So like you would be making something like a curry. And if you haven't before, this is really one of the first steps is just to heat up the paste. And I'm gonna put in the coconut milk and just whisk it all together. And you get that smell kind of right away. So I'm making a bath for our tempeh to chill out in. So while I'm doing this, let's look at the tempeh there.
I can do that.
You want to
Yeah,
get back?
I'll jump over so you can do the tempeh.
But yeah, it's more of
More of a sauce.
more of a sauce now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It makes my stomach rumble. All right. So we're on tempeh now. Tempeh is fermented soybeans. So that's what it's made
Okay.
out of. So it's still soy, but the beans are kept whole, and then they're put out into whatever that is used to shape it, and then they actually let it ferment.
Wow.
So like yogurt,
Yes.
probiotics.
Yes.
Yeah, so like sauerkraut, probiotics. Tempeh on its own has probiotics in
awesome.
it. So if you're looking for more good gut bacteria, good gut health,
Yeah.
it's one way that you can get that in, and your protein feel like you're having a solid meal. So whenever I get the tempeh, it's usually sold in these 8-ounce packages. There's some store brands that make it, and there's Light Life is very common.
Okay.
And then this one is just called Soy Boy. And you just look at the ingredients, and we just got soybeans, distilled vinegar, and the tempeh culture. Some of them are sold with extra seeds and stuff in there, but I want to start basic.
Okay.
Because I want this to taste like that.
Right.
So I'm going to cut off this top part here. That's how I usually there's always a nub. Just to make it easier. So I don't want to fuss around with opening this. And then you cut away from you.
Always, right?
Always away from you. And now we've got this block of tempeh. Get here. Ah, oh no. Well, that's a good sign. That means it's tender. So it'll be much softer.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So we got our tempeh here. Got all of the different parts. And for satay, usually you know how it's on a barbecue skewer?
Right.
I'm going to make it into triangles so that it can kind of
nice.
mimic that a little bit. So I'm going to cut it into triangles, just like this.
So I guess this is something you wouldn't necessarily have to cook, right?
Oh, no, yeah, you can eat it plain.
Okay.
It's just,
Plain.
yeah, it's just plain, yeah. Similar to the tofu, except it does have a kind of a nutty taste. So it does, since it has since it's been fermented, it has its own flavor.
So I was just thinking you might want to throw it into a salad, right? If you're trying to get some of those good benefits, some protein, some
Yeah.
good gut stuff.
Yeah, you could I would cook it a little bit first.
Okay.
So that it can, get a good consistency. You could
Got it.
try it raw. I honestly, to myself, have not tried that. But that doesn't mean it's not possible.
Got it. It's getting hot.
Yeah, okay. So just cutting into the triangles. And what's cool about this block of tempeh is that technically it's about 2 servings, 2.5 servings. So if you have one block of tempeh that serves you, or you and one other person, or it serves you twice.
I love having leftovers, don't you?
Yes, yeah. I mean, especially when you go through all the work and effort to put something together in the first place.
Right.
All right, you were reading my mind here.
I gotcha.
Or you could just take those pieces that are cut and drop them in the bath.
Okay.
And it'll be enough liquid to coat.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah, so that 1 can of coconut milk really took us a long way. I'm making some little pieces too, littler. Some different, so we can put it on the skewer. We got a couple different sizes of skewers.
Oh, good. And do I have to be like careful with it? Will it fall apart easily?
That's a good question. Not as easily as tofu. So it's more solid in its structure. So you don't have to worry about it really falling apart and getting it all flaky and becoming a mess of any kind.
Really nice. I think the camera can see that there's plenty of sauce, right?
Yeah. Woo! Cauliflower. And then I just put this guy in.
Okay, good. Don't want to waste.
Nope.
Waste not, want not, right?
Right, exactly. And so just like with the cauliflower rice, that's it.
Wow,
You're
that's
done.
simple.
You're done with the recipe. So you've got your vegetable, you've got your protein, excellent plant-based entree. When you have it together, it's just like, actually, you want to try it?
Can I?
Yeah.
How long would we normally cook this for?
We would cook it for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried it at 10 and it was good.
Okay.
But then 15 minutes went by and then it was, even better. So
Awesome.
has time for the tempeh to kind of let whatever moisture it had naturally out and the sauce flavor to go in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You make everything look so easy.
Well, it should be. All right, so we got spoon for the rice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a spoon for the rice and a spoon of the little tempeh.
Okay.
I'm excited for you to try it.
Me too. I was excited about this recipe.
From the very beginning. And if you like spicy, it's a perfect place to add like cayenne or crushed red pepper flakes, or even Thai red chili paste, which you can buy at most supermarkets these days, actually.
It is restaurant good.
Yeah!
So yummy.
Restaurant good.
Absolutely.
All
That's
right.
delicious.
It's a winner. It's a winner. It's a dinner.
Winner.
It's a winner dinner.
Yes.
And if you want it to be a little bit more versatile, one other thing,
Okay.
and this is because I was just being extra, I'm all about this stuff. Especially if you live alone and you just kind of want to cook for you and yourself.
Right.
These different packages of stir-fried blend vegetables, they have the water chestnuts in them. Sometimes they have the little snow peas in there. But, just follow the package directions and then dump that in with there.
Oh,
and
nice.
you basically have your own, curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice, substantial meal. It's delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will put that on the back burner now.
Okay. Because now I'm equally excited to start the puttanesca, right?
Yeah, putanesca. All right, I'm gonna put on the heat a little bit on that in the back so that
Okay.
it can, heat, continue to
I'll keep
heat
an eye
up.
on it.
This is the one that doesn't like to work.
You got this, Alyssa. I trust you.
It's an old stove.
Oldie but goodie.
Old but reliable. Like, it will work. I know every time I do that click, 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 it's happening. It's just waiting for it to catch. All right.
Awesome.
So, next recipe is going to be 1 pot lentil putanesca.
Okay.
So for this one, I'm gonna actually take these tools,
I'm going to keep this one.
put them to the side, and we actually don't even, wait, before I put it away, we need it for one thing in this recipe.
Okay, what
I
is
want it
it?
to be really simple. So to start a putanesca, usually you warm up some oil, and then you put in something like anchovies and garlic.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we want to start off with that kind of flavor profile. So depending on how much garlic you like,
I like garlic. You like garlic?
I love garlic.
Yeah.
So anywhere like 4 to 6 cloves of garlic makes sense for this recipe. You don't feel like you're going crazy. And what you do here is that with the cloves of garlic, you take the palm of your hand and then the large end of the knife, you hover it over and go whack.
Wow. Okay.
Get out some aggression.
Yes, at the end of the day, you may need that.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's good for the evening. So once you do that, you get them out, and they also spread out a little bit. So they
How did I not know
they
this?
open up.
No, you do it. It's all you, girl.
Yes. All right. So we got our garlic peeled. I'm going to start this recipe just with some olive oil that I got.
Thank you.
Perfect. And you can throw the garlic right in there.
And you're going to throw it in whole like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because we're going to keep it at a low temperature so that it infuses in the oil, so that it kind of gets all together like that.
So, all right, I probably shouldn't ask this, but if I wanted to get the roasted garlic off the salad bar thingy,
Yeah.
could I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you did that, you just put a nice. If you go to this salad bar, and then they'll usually have roasted garlic in the little container.
They do. It's all done.
And it's all done for you. Yeah.
All right, just trying to be quick, right? My cooking is all about being quick. Have the dogs to feed, my dad to feed, the kids, like
Dogs,
gotta,
dad.
Yeah, gotta move fast.
So we're kind of infusing the oil. So as we go along here, I want to put in some dried oregano,
Okay.
and that's just kind of goes along with any, type
Always
of
pasta, right?
dish. Yeah. I got crushed red pepper flakes again.
I'm good.
For putanesca,
Okay, I think we need it.
we do some. But
Well, it smells
it's not
good
too
already.
much.
It
Yeah.
really does.
And again, it smells like a pizza shop.
It does. I'm not doing so good with this ladle
You want to
thing.
use the tongs?
Sure.
Yeah, I like
you.
tongs a lot. I feel like it's like just a longer pair of hands.
Yes, an extension.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now our first putanesca style ingredients.
Okay.
Capers.
Yes.
So have you had
love
capers before?
Of course.
All right. Yeah. Capers are little berries, and they come in you can purchase them in little containers like this, but you can also find big ones as well.
Oh.
Depending how much you like capers, they even have caper berries out there that grow
Wow.
with the stem, and you could serve them with like an olive tray.
Oh, that'd be good, I bet.
They're so good.
So is it actually a bigger berry?
It's a bigger berry.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen those.
So capers is just kind of this with the oregano and the garlic and the crushed red pepper. The other thing that makes this more of a putanesca sauce is some tomato paste.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
I've got about a tablespoon there. You whack it in there. So for this recipe today, I used the canned tomato paste because I had it on hand,
Right.
and because sometimes it's the only thing available. But if you're looking around the grocery store, around the international section, they do have tomato paste in a tube.
Oh, you're right. I have seen that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another quickie.
And so if you have the tomato paste in the tube, you don't have to have all this left over.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm lucky my boyfriend likes tomato paste a lot. So I
a
know
lot
that
of recipes call for tomato paste.
it was so weird. He was like eating it. I was like, what are you doing? I like it. So for the next step of putanesca style, we're going to do some olives. And I love olives. So let's get rid of some of the water here. And you could put up to like quarter cups to a half a cup of the olives in there. So I would say just give it a shake and put it in half. Yeah.
I like olives too.
I mean,
We're just going for it.
I love them. And you can always put them on top too.
Ooh,
like
nice.
the flavors
Garnish.
that are infusing are from the oregano and from the chili flake. The olives are just starting to add a little bit of that saltiness, the brininess that the capers are also bringing. And I got them already pre-sliced.
See? woman after my own heart.
Yeah.
Like making it easy.
Happened to also find sliced Kalamata olives.
Oh, love those.
That was a blessing.
They're my favorite.
They're so good, and that it's like what you want when you want a Greek salad.
Right.
You want to have that bite of the Kalamata olive. It's just really it has a really good consistency. Whereas I think that black olives are a little squeaky. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I don't know that I would have thought to describe it like that, but I know.
Squeaky, yeah. Doesn't make them bad. They're just squeaky.
I agree. Okay. So we have some squeaky olives and then some Kalamata.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is looking good.
Got both kinds. All right.
Okay.
So just let that warm up. I'm going to move this to the back. And I have. So we have our space. And now is it looking in there?
It's looking really yummy.
Yes. All that goodness. All right. So the last step for the sauce part is to put in, for the whole recipe, I used a whole 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
And this brand has a no salt added variety you can find at most supermarkets. If you find the one that has salt in it, you'd be mindful while you're tasting it, see where where it needs to be added and where it maybe can get put on the side. So because everything's all warmed up in here, the garlic is warmed up, you got the sauce in there, and you just mix that guy in there. And this is my favorite new thing to do. I've never done this before. Never cooked the pasta in the pot that I'm going to eat it out of.
I haven't either.
Yeah. So this is a big time saver. So again, we're trying to one less dish to clean. Try not to be too extra. So this is about you're gonna put about 3 cups of water to 28-ounce can of tomatoes. Since I'm doing half a recipe, I did 1.5 cups and half of
got it.
can. Yeah, I'm doing halves. And I mean, it's easy. Like if you look at most recipes, it's just a template. You can use it to get an idea of what you'd like, but you can always divide everything in half. Sometimes it gets complicated if you divide it by a quarter. All right, so we got the water in there. And so what I want to do is bring it up to a boil.
Okay.
Just like if you're making pasta.
I'm going the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah. So this is going to come up really quickly since it's a crazy burner.
Yes.
It's got its good things and it's got its bad things, like everything, right?
Absolutely.
So this is the red lentil rotini that I got. They also have red lentil, like penne and pasta, and things are just getting crazy with these bean pastas, and I love it.
Yeah.
As a dietitian, and especially as a plant-based dietitian who's really trying to find ways to get in that protein that we're all typically concerned about. 1 serving of this pasta, guess how many grams of protein it has?
8?
13.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's got kind of like more protein than an egg. It's more protein than if you were to have like a yogurt. It's equal to like having the same amount as like a Greek yogurt. So that's how much protein you're getting from this in 1 serving.
And did you choose this kind because the sauce goes in between?
Yes.
I knew it.
No, that was a good thing to bring up. Yeah, I love the rotini because of the spirals.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, penne can pick it up a little bit, but nothing like this. So yeah, it has 13 grams of protein, but also very important, if you want to use a different kind of pasta, that's completely fine. Like if you want to use a whole grain pasta.
Right.
What I would always do is go to the label, look at fiber, and make sure it has at least 3 grams per serving.
Okay, that's the minimum we should have in that?
Yeah, 3 grams, so that it's a real whole grain in there.
Right.
Sometimes they can get away with saying, oh, this pasta is whole wheat, and it only has 1 gram of fiber in it. We want it to be on the higher side so that it's more satiating, and so that we can get up to our levels that we need a day.
Daily allowance, right?
Women are supposed to get 25 grams of fiber a day, and men are supposed to get 35.
That can be challenging if you're not adding all of these ingredients.
It's a full-time job. But, definitely it's something to play around with every once in a while if you want to check your fiber intake. Check out, you can Google a lot of things.
Right.
You'll get a lot of information there.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So we're good. Oh, I closed it. See, I'm on autopilot for cleaning.
So we're pretty much there, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Bombs away.
And we're going to cook this for how long?
We're gonna cook it for about 7 minutes, or as
Can't
per the
believe
package
it.
directions. So I just wanted to kind of point out how red the red lentil pasta is.
Yeah.
And it just goes along with this really well. So, where was I? We're gonna let that cook for 7 minutes.
Yes.
If you use a different pasta, follow their directions. But This one
Absolutely.
says 7, so I'm gonna be precise.
Looks yummy. Okay, so Alyssa's setting the timer on that. And then we're going to, maybe, do we have some to test?
Oh
In
yeah.
our magic kitchen?
We have a magic kitchen.
I love magic kitchens.
For some reason, this timer is not going off.
I can do it.
Ah. I did it. All right.
Excellent.
But we have a magic kitchen, so I am going to get out our finished product here.
Wish I had a magic kitchen at home, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So actually,
You gotta come this side.
yes,
now.
yes. So I've just been heating it up in this pan so that it gets nice and warm. I'm going to put it back in the pot. But the last step of this recipe, if you want to be extra green, throw in some greens.
Oh,
So this is baby kale, spinach, and chard.
okay.
So, you know baby spinach.
Yes.
Good stuff. Kale, it can be kind of tough.
Yes.
But these tender little baby leaves are nice and soft, like
That's
you're eating
awesome.
spring mix. But you're getting all that iron and you're getting all that calcium.
And you're actually gonna put it in the pot?
Once it's done cooking. So once
Okay,
it's,
and then
yeah,
it'll shrink down too, right?
exactly. It cooks it
Yes.
cooks right in there. So what I want to do is actually put out my towel, and I'm going to put the pot on the one I was using over here.
Got it. Oh, does that look yummy?
It's in my heart-shaped pan.
I know, I like that.
All right.
Okay, you wanna switch?
Yep.
Okay, we're back
All right,
to...
so we're back to this one. So I'm just kind of putting this guy back in the pan because of TV magic.
Yes.
You don't have to do this step at home. This is definitely, hooray. All right, so rip open that box of greens.
Okay, so I need my glasses.
That's okay.
I can't see to do it.
All the time, I need to be reminded to put my glasses on.
All right, I'm gonna stir this so we don't stick.
Ah, they've made it more difficult. I didn't know. The pull tab is gone.
Okay, so they didn't really want us to eat these, did
No! Get it. I've never had one that difficult to open. That's
Right?
what a thing. So you can use baby, if you're kind of intimidated by the baby kale or chard, baby spinach is just fine.
Yeah.
So you just put it in there and it's gonna cook in the hot noodles.
And that's all you need, right?
Yep, you got your iron, you got your fiber, you got your protein. Like this is a one pot meal cooked in one pot.
Right.
So it's excellent. The noodles actually get really tender and they soak up the sauce. So, you know, I think now that I got the greens in there, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's a great...
Let's give it a try.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
After you.
All right, so I want to get at least one little olive in there.
Me too. All right, gotta find the olive.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Another restaurant quality meal.
It's so warm and cozy.
Comfort.
Yeah,
It's
this
comfort
is comfort.
food.
Yeah, it's comfort food.
Delicious. And I like the noodles, the red lentil.
Yeah, yeah, it's great to try these new things out.
Absolutely.
So, just to make it pretty, had this set up.
You're so good. She's good with the presentation, the recipe, everything.
You know, you want it to look good because you want to be able to have it as a long-term habit. You know,
Right.
like if you eat this, if you put pasta down and you're like, oh, this is whole wheat and it's got kale in it, like I mean, if it has
Not
that feeling,
appealing.
it's not going to be something that you probably make again.
Right.
But if you make it and you're like, very pretty, just that can help encourage, you know, healthy eating.
Well, we know that from the marketers, right?
Yeah, we know that from
Because
marketing.
Everything they do on TV, you want to buy it all, right? When you're sitting watching the commercials.
They do all the scientific research on that.
Right.
And then I was going to do this.
Wow.
I got some doop, doop, doop. Come on. All right. I got my, now it's more of that style, right?
Oh my.
That
Beautiful.
That satay style.
Yes.
Oh, you take
And
it off
so much
anyway.
nutrition in there, right?
Yes, lots of nutrition in there. It's dense.
Yes,
It's
both
dense.
of them.
So if I eat a meal like this, I know that I'm getting my full amount that I'm supposed to be getting per meal, which is like
And
somewhere.
you feel full at the end,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a lot of fiber.
That's terrific.
So sometimes I like to be fancy, and on
Okay.
something like this, I like to put cilantro if you have it. And on something like the pasta, I like to put a little bit of parsley on top if you have it.
Nice.
And I just happen to have a little bit laying
Of course
around.
you do.
I had somebody come to a class yesterday who loved parsley so much that she was eating it like
Really?
like its own vegetable. Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't think I've
she's-
ever done that.
She's my hero.
For real.
Great. Another thing that you can do with this kind of Thai-ish satay is to slice a lime. So I'm just going to bump over here. And it's definitely not necessary, but look, it's very pretty.
It's presentation. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So before you eat, you might do the lime, and then you have your skewers, and you have your cauliflower rice, and
Looks delicious.
you got
They're-
two pretty good ones here.
So we're really adding to our plant-based library of recipes
Mm-hmm.
with some substantial and tasty dishes, right?
Yeah, I mean these were super easy. I mean
That was
it's
super
powdered
easy.
ginger, it's powdered garlic,
Right.
sliced olives. So it's something that it's not too much extra effort to do when you don't have a lot of time or if you just kind of want to throw something together.
And I think trying to go, if you're just doing it one meal at a time, you don't need to just be vegan to do this.
Nope.
If you can add a couple of these ideas in a week or a month,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, all across the board, it's recommended by the American Heart Association and
Right.
a lot of those to eat more plant-based meals. They're trying to suggest to have less of the animal protein and more of things like beans and legumes as your protein source. Bam, we got red lentils.
Yes.
Bam, we got tempeh. It's made of soybeans. So we're starting to meet
Yeah.
those recommendations and, you know, hopefully get to that heart healthy level that
Our timer's going off.
And so that was the timer, and it's also
okay.
all done.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
So now that it's all done, you just plop some of that in there.
That's a great way to finish it. And what a good way to get some more nutrition.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I used to, eat everything.
Right.
I used to make omelets, and I used to make really big fluffy ones, and put a bunch of these just in half
Yes.
in the fold. So, and they cook down really quickly. So it's definitely almost always on my shopping list if I'm going to use them for cooking. But
Right.
if I want salad, I got to make sure that I get romaine lettuce personally.
do?
Yeah, because I know I won't eat the spring lettuce.
Isn't that
It'll just go
interesting?
bad and all sticky and yucky on the bottom.
I would totally do the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. Well,
So we're all set.
we're all set.
This was awesome. I hope you enjoyed the program today. And please remember, we're committed to our aging population here in Mercer County and the surrounding area at RWJ. That's why we do this, so that we can all age better. If you're interested in becoming a Better Health member, it's completely complimentary. Please call us at 609-584-4999. 888-595-9900. And you can always get a little more of Alyssa, too. So thank you for this today.
Of course, of
next
course.
time. Oh, we didn't tell them what we're doing next time.
Next time,
Yes.
we have some choices here. We could either do appetizer or we can do dessert.
Maybe we could do one of both.
You got it. You got it. No, slam dunk. We're doing one of both.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for
All right.
joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye-bye.
Make it a great day.